Hi, welcome back to Leslie Crafts and welcome to another cold day in January. So again, I am fully dressed. I've just got my extra dresser going on to keep me warm, and I've got the heater on as well. Today I'm going to show you how to make these little like flags, which can be just as card toppers, bag toppers, anything you really want. And if you really want to, you can have them in your cakes as well. I thought I'd done a video on this before, but when I came to look to post it, it had disappeared. So I thought I'll make some more anyway, because I want to get my stash built up and I want to use what I've already got. So I was looking through my stuff for something else, and I found a whole box of embellishments I've made using the Graphic 45 paper pad, this one here. So I had single sheets, and obviously I've got a paper pad and I want to use this up. I want to at least get the paper pad used up. So I found all these things I've already done. So yeah, so I know I've got some more of these outlines of shakers that can be done. I follow a direction from an Australian crafter for that one, Lolly for that. Obviously I made them myself, made a few things of myself. So yeah, so that is already made up, and I just need to package them up and get them sorted. So I thought I would just come along and do some page flags just to add to my stash, really. So all I've done is I've cut loads of cocktail sticks, and I've just chopped the tops off so they're blunt. I've also gone through, I've got loads of scrap paper in this little bin here, and there's like half projects done, so I want to finish them up, get them packed and everything else. So I've gone and I've just cut up the little bits of paper into strips, and then I've just gone and found all the loose ephemera which I've made, or embellishments which I've made. I've got scraps here from other projects. I've got these are little light bulbs type things, a punch I've got from Stampin' Up. So I obviously punched a lot of them out. I've got some circles, and then in here I have a lot of mini circles, obviously paper flowers which haven't been quite finished. I've got some sayings, I've got like some stars, some balloons and things I've punched out from my little punches. I've got some mini circles. So I've got a lot to play with, and hopefully they will come out really gorgeous. Okay, so first of all I'm doing is getting some tape and putting tape on these here. So I hope you're liking my videos so far. I am finding it a lot easier just to do which collections I want to do and when I want to do them. I find it less hassle, and I am writing down what I have used up. Haven't used that much up. I think I've only used a couple of things up, but it's a couple of things that I no longer have, which is great. And then hopefully as the year goes on I'll start hitting the paper pads and stuff, so hopefully they'll soon start going down as I do, you know, excuse me, as I do those projects. I will also be using my my Cricut for doing some of my items. Some of them I've transferred into patterns. If you don't have a cutting machine, but they are also out there in the general domain, so I haven't taken from anybody. There's a couple of patterns I want to downsize on the Cricut anyway, and I think I can do that. I just need to have one day where I just sit down and I do that. What else? Oh, I've downloaded a couple of new kit ideas, so hopefully I'm back to work next week as well, so I'm hoping I can do some of that when I come back from work. So that'll be quite good. So yeah, so I am still busy. I've got a couple of little haul videos up. I will show you what I've also got from Louise. I might do that via my phone, because it's just going to be a lot. So that'll be great fun. I've got nowhere to put in, but it will be great fun. This weekend I was going to go and sort out my craft stuff in the garage, but I've getting a new floor in the kitchen and they're coming on Tuesday, so I have to clear the kitchen, basically. So that's going to be a bit of a nightmare, really. So I've got two autistic boys which don't like change, so the whole house is going to be well, hiddly-piddly for at least a week, really, until I can get it back sorted again. So that is a major ache, but we'll get there. So I haven't done all the strips. I'll just do them as and when I go, but I have done a great big bunch of them. So these little flags are just great for decorations. If you're, if you want to put them on your cake, you can do. There's nobody saying that you can't. So now I know that I've got like a sort of a paper pad to do. I think I'll be doing one of my mini albums with it, I think. I have got one upstairs already using this collection, but now I know I've got more, it's a good way for me to use it. I've made cards with it before. So I have got a lot of different things out of it, so which is good. So yeah, hope you can see me. Hope I'm in frame. I know the last couple of videos I've been sort of out of frame, but I think I've got the camera now to where it's supposed to be. So I might even do some cake pics for the craft fairs, and which I think will be quite good. Obviously there will be certain ones which are going to be more popular than others, so that will be fine. So yeah. So I hope you're all having a fantastic day, evening, morning, depending on when you watch watch this video. I can't wait to show you what I've actually completed in January, because I was looking at my stuff and I'm thinking, oh, I don't know where I'm going to put it all. You know, this is great. It's a great way of using your stuff, but on the same hand, you get to a point where you don't know where you're going to put it. So, I'm going to go to my local Tesco's and I'm going to grab a couple of storage bins, and I'm going to put my makes in there, the ones which are all packaged up already, got toppers on and everything like that, and then over time I'm going to get more organised with, you know, putting them in certain things, so anything stationery goes in one and stuff like that. So yeah, I was just getting some notepads ready to get sewn. I must probably do that over the weekend. And I thought, oh, I'm running out of paper, I'll need to go out and get more. And then I suddenly realised, actually, I have paper scattered around, I don't actually need it. And I think I've got 2 reams of paper in my garage, which is still, actually, I'm quite surprised in how well stuff's being kept out there. So, yeah, I thought, no, I don't need it actually. So, doing this actually stops you from just randomly going out and buying stuff. Well, it has me. I know what I've got from Louise. Technically, I don't need it, but she was finding it hard to get people to get it, buy it. So I thought, well, I'll help her out, and it'll help me out because there's certain American collections which you can't get anymore and stuff like that. And I thought, well, actually, it'll help me doing this. So yeah. So there will be some videos which are specifically just using certain collections, or a series of videos doing that. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, so yesterday was my son's parents' evening for year 9. And all the teachers were going, so you're going to be doing GCSEs with me, blah blah, because you're really good at it. And he is quite smart. And then we said, no, sorry, he's going over to a different school. He's going to a studio school where he will fly, because he has issues, but academically he will just fly where he's going, which sounds really good and sounds great. But on the flip side of that, what you would take as granted for your child doing certain basic things, I can't get mine to do that. So it is swings and roundabouts. We have good days, we have bad days, and we have days where I wish I could just crawl underneath a rock. But we're getting there. It's been there all their lives, it will be there with them all their lives. It's not a new thing. Getting a diagnosis is really for me to say, I'm not imagining it. I'm not imagining that, you know, and I can go out and I can get help. I can get help for the family. I can get help for them. I can go into the educational system and actually say to them, you know, this is what he needs. This is, you know. So, you know, it's not the case of all my sons are different. It's the case of, yes, they are different, but on the other hand, they need they need places, they need safe places to go. One is very can get very violent, especially with me, and his brother, not so much with other people. He tends to keep it in with other people, but he will fly eventually at school, and yeah, so we just have to wait and see what happens. It was a good thing for me to go into school, actually, because one teacher actually said about something that happened that day, which I thought was great. And then we had a couple of other teachers which were not so forthcoming when I suggested that the bullying was swept underneath the carpet, and that my son is classed as a what do you call it? An scapegoat, not a scapegoat, I can't remember, so I sort of told them that, and he's on one of his subjects, he actually has one of the deputy heads for upper site, so I told him, and he didn't like what I said. Well, I said, well, unfortunately it's true, so, and when my youngest went up, it was like September, and it was really bright, sunny day, and David likes his hats, and the teacher came, and he didn't tell him off, he just said he wasn't allowed it, and to both of them, that is a telling off. And David went into meltdown, and this specific teacher phoned me up, and he was absolutely distraught himself because he didn't realise that, he said I didn't tell him off. He said, I said, but he won't know whether or not you're joking or whether or not you're being serious. I said, he doesn't understand the concept. And I said, to him, he would have been in his head, he would have thought he'd been massively told off and stuff like that. And it's very difficult for him to understand that actually being asked to take his cap off, because it's not permitted in secondary school, which I think is a bit bizarre, but never mind. So yeah, so we had a laugh about that, and I just said, so you'll ever be known as a teacher who upset my son, and he just laughed. So he took it in the way I meant it. So yeah, so that was quite funny. Because he had my elder son afterwards, and he didn't know how to respond to him because he thought he really messed up. And like Matthew was trying to reassure him that he hadn't. It was just just one of those things, and that he would be fine. So but it's all a learning curve. You learn something new every day, and yeah, some days are better than others. So I don't know if you can. I think that looks a bit too. Do you reckon that looks a bit freaky? So yeah. So yeah. So it was all was all good fun. As fun as it could be. So, but no. So, but no. Like I say, it's just one of those things. It's our life, and we deal with it, and you know. And it's quite nice because I met up with a couple of them. Met up with a mum which I haven't seen for. I only tend to see her at parents' evening, because our sons are the same year. It is quite funny because you know, we spent obviously chats and stuff, and then the boys get a bit boisterous, and you know, but they're fine. You know, they understand that I don't see them very often. It's just one of those things, and you know, it's nice to catch up. It's nice to, you know, see how the other side is. You know, she has a daughter which is a lot different to my two, and you know, it's taken her 5 academic years to get her school to listen to her. My sons used to go to the exact same school, and they just buried their head. They just buried their head until they realised that actually they're going to get funding for that said child, and then it's all different, which is wrong. It's not all kids get funding. David doesn't get any funding. You know, so yeah, so, and not everybody wants the funding. You know, if you have to have absolutely, you know, extra care for them, which means like you've got to get you know, extra, you know, wheelchair pram and things like that, then yeah, you should get the funding. No questions. Shouldn't have to go through several years to get it. You shouldn't have to fight. And what annoys me more than anything is the fighting. You have to fight for schools. You have to fight for paediatricians. You have to fight everybody just to make them listen. And it's like, just listen. You know, my child's a perfect child at school, 95% of the time, and that 5% where he's not, it's just classed as a off day. But that off day, when he comes home, it's World War III. He releases his anger at me and at his brother and his sister, and it's not nice. You know, it's sometimes it's scary, but we are getting the help. You know, I'm on a couple of Facebook groups which they really are, you know, yeah, you get the odd bitching, you know. At the end of the day, it's a group of women, you know, but on the same side, you know, we all also offer advice, you know, even if it's just asking, does your child do this? Because mine still does, you know, going out, having a drink with a teaspoon, you know, sounds a bit feeble, but when people look at you, you get to a point where you have to say something, because to them it's absolutely normal thing to do. So yeah, so these page flags, you know, haven't taken a whole lot of time to do. And again, okay, lot of it was already pre-done, but if you're using ephemera from packs, or if you like sitting down and just getting stuff prepared, watching a film or something like that, then yeah, these really don't take that long to do, and it's using up your scraps. That's what I like about them. You don't have to cut into a A4 pad or a 6x6, 8x8, 12x12 to do them. If you're making a project, you're going to have scraps. Like, made the project, I've got that left. So yeah, I can do like a little notebook with it. Turn around that, make a little notebook. So there's all sorts of things that you can do with your scraps, and you know, you can just sit down and you can just create such lovely pieces of little bits of artwork, and you can, you know, you can just, you know, I've got things like this, you know, little rosettes, you know. Let's see what this one looks like. I just don't want two purples together. So we'll just quickly do this one. I've lost my tape. You know, just sometimes it's just like quick, easy embellishments. You know, what to do with my scraps. So, but sometimes a scrap piece of paper can actually offer a lot more. It can be punched out until there is absolutely no paper left behind. There is a tag on Facebook for No Paper Left Behind. So if you hashtag No Paper Left Behind, then an American lady can see what you've been doing. There's loads of people out there who are using Evolver paper pads. I'm trying to do the same, but I don't want to stick to one paper pad all month, because I know that would just drive me insane, and I would just stop doing it. So I just find that this is a lot easier way of doing it for me. Is doing, you know, it might be the same thing, but it might be on different papers. You know, I've got loads of notepads to sew up and get decorated, and that's all different types of things. So there you go. So that's quite cool as well. So, and all of that is the scallop circle, a plain circle and a thing, and then some little banners underneath. So how quick and easy was that one? So yeah, use what you have, use your get your punches out, get your really tiny scraps of paper out, and just sit there one night in front of a telly. Yeah, it's going to drive your other half mad, or your kids mad, but at the end of the day, you're going to have so much. I've got loads of these little containers with different bits of paper in which I want to use up. So that is another challenge for me, is to use these containers up. I've got loads of them shoved in a box. I'm thinking, actually, I can use these. I've got homemade enamel dots as well in these. I'm thinking, actually, if they're in a box, I don't know technically I've got them. So what I might do is I might get a jar. Next time I finish a jar, is wash it and then fill it up with my enamel dots so they're out, so I can use them. So it's little things like that which I want to use up. You know, these aren't, I think you get 4 for a couple of quid in Home Bargains. So these are great, and these are great if you're going away and if you want to take some crafting stuff with you. These don't take up much room, and you can get a fair bit in these. So that's another good thing to do. Yeah, so please have a go, see what you come up with. tag me in if you wish. I will be posting these upon my Instagram and things like that. So yeah, please have a go, see what you can do, see what you can get use up. As I'm looking around, I've got loads of stuff which I've made but not finished off. So that is also an ongoing project throughout the months, is actually finish what I've done. So the other night, quickly changing subjects, the other night I've got loads of these flowers. They're from China. So I was looking, what can I do with them? Apart from sticking them on a project, what else can I do? So I've turned them into little flower charms. Now, I've seen on Scrap Diva. No, that's the wrong one. I can't remember the name now. She's well known in the US. So I've got myself, I will be doing videos on these. So I've got myself my jewellery making stuff out, and I've just made myself these pencil charms. So these are tassels from BB Crafts, which and then I've done eye pins. I'm getting some stronger glue, because this glue just clearly didn't work, and I think it's because it's old. So yeah, so those will be getting re-glued in there so they are solid. So I've done that from BB Crafts. I've done that, obviously, little food one from BB Crafts, and I've done those flower ones. Really easy to do. And that is another project. That is another ongoing project, and I must probably have these in jars, and I'll have them scattered around upstairs and everywhere else until I need them. And I must probably have each, when I do a craft fair, I'm going to have these out, but I might have the tassels in one, the food in another, and the flowers in another, and have them scattered over my table so they're not in the same place, so people have to come and look. So yeah, so that is one idea with them, and I just sat down and done loads of them. So that is one idea, but I can put them onto other things as well. I can put them, they don't take that long to make. And yeah, I've got boxes everywhere now of half-made stuff, which is a ongoing project, and this is it. So it's like I've been making, and I've just putting stuff in here. Obviously this is a sweet tin from Christmas. So yeah, but all going there. It would be like projects that went in there to die. But one night when I'm watching something and the kids want me in there in the living room and it gets too cold, I'll just get these out, and then I'll just get a paper pad and some packaging, and I'll just go and package them all up, and then that's it. And it doesn't matter if the back papers don't match, as long as they're packaged and that they're in the same order, then that'll be absolutely fine. So yeah, so that is my project share. I have waffled on at the end, sorry, but no, have fun, and I will see you again soon. Bye now.